Okay, in this video, I want to walk you through how to use the various levels, which ones are key on the camarilla levels indicator for TradingView. And as always, I try and say this in every video on TradingView. Please remember, this is a browser-based application. It's a fantastic charting package, and you can also trade through it as well with various brokers. But the primary point is, being browser-based, you can use it on pretty much any device you wish. It doesn't have to be Windows-based. I'm actually recording on a Mac here. So you can use it on Mac, you can use it on iOS devices as well for all your charting analysis. So just remember that it is fantastic, and you can use all the quantum indicators on those particular devices as well. So I've gone to the 4-hour chart just to display the full array of levels from the R6 at the top there, right the way down to the S6 at the bottom. So which are the key levels and that you should pay attention to, pay close attention to, and what are the sort of targets that they might deliver? Now, if you remember from the introductory video, this level here between the R1 and the S1 is called the buffer zone. It's where we expect congestion to build. Once we break away from that and move through the R2 up to the R3 here and the equivalent S3 below are absolutely key. I'm just going to click this off for a moment. Just go into settings on the indicator. There we go, and I'll just take off this one, show analysis. Just click that off. There we are, that's gone. And of course you can take the labels off as well if you will. I'll come back to show history in a moment. So there we go. So we are, as I speak, as I'm recording this, gold is at 17.44 an ounce and is literally testing the R3 level. Now, the reason the R3 and the S3 levels are so important is that these are regions where we can potentially expect a reversal to occur. And clearly from an R3 level, we would expect it to go down to a target level, which is our S3. And consequently, the inverse of that, if we get a price action testing the S3 level and it doesn't break through and we're looking for a potential reversal, then the reversal opportunity we're looking at in terms of a target is back up to the R3. So these are key levels on the camarilla levels indicator. So for R3 and S3, you are always looking at potential opportunity of a reversal. Just going to click that label back on again. The analysis rather, there we go. And that's why this is coming up as with the potential opportunity for a short position now on the horizon. Now clearly if it carries on through here, that message will disappear, and then we start to move up to the next key level, which is the R4 and the equivalent below it, the S4. Because once we get to those regions, if we move through those regions, then what we're looking at from there on is a strong development of the trend. So through R4, and in terms of where that trend might take us to, we are looking for a travel up to the R5 and possibly through to the R6. And equally to the downside, once we breach the S4 level, then we're looking for a move down to possibly the S5 or ultimately through to the S6 level. And that is why those two levels in particular, the R3 particularly and the S3 for reversals, the R4 and the S4 for a continuation, if you will, of what has already preceded it. So in this case, we're looking at a bullish momentum. If we don't get a short developing off this reversal and we get a continuation through, then once we get up to the R4, we're looking at that really breaking higher with a strong trend with momentum. And equally to the downside, if we don't get a reversal and we carry on down to the S4, once we get to S4, then it's really looking like a really strong trend down to the S5, S6 region. And that is the way to use the indicator. Now clearly, I'm on a very slow time frame here. I'm on a 4-hour chart, but you can use this on any time frame you choose. And of course, in addition to that, you will have it on multiples. So remember that when you're on perhaps the faster scalping charts, you might keep an eye on the hourly and above just to give you an indication of where you are in terms of potential reversals or potential breakouts. And of course, when the chart is in congestion, you'll get signals that come up to tell you that The price action is being analyzed, and you just have to be patient and wait for these potential little tab signals to come up here alongside, which, as you've seen, you can switch on and off. Now, the other thing that we've incorporated it is in the indicator, because this is really where it started, I suppose, is that if I just click on it again in settings, a lot of our customers, traders, like to see the history, and indeed that was how the camarilla levels indicator was always presented. It was presented with all these levels. We didn't have the clean structure of being able to draw these individual lines that we do now. So as you can see there, we've now got the history of where those particular levels have been in the past, and how that relates to where they are at present. Now, you can obviously toggle that on and off, or indeed, if you wanted, you could have it on a separate chart rather than have it cluttered up on one chart. So just click that off again, and that will go back to where we were. So we've got the nice clean levels there. And of course, on here, you've also got the option to change all the colors as you would expect. Now, the other aspect of the levels is also to give you a guide, if you will, as to where you might put stop losses. With the R3 and the S3, you might be looking at the opposite ends of that in terms of placing a stop loss, if that is within your risk and money management, to use those as guides. And the same is true of the R4. Moving up to the R6 or the S4 down to the S6. You can use these levels as guides to your stop loss positioning, and if it fulfills your money management rule set. And as you've seen, you can switch these little analytical flags that come up, which give you helpful hints as to what possibly to expect as the price action approaches each particular region. But just to remind you, the key levels, R3 and S3 for reversals, and once we get through there, on up to R4 and S4, and if those two are breached, then you're looking at breakouts and development of stronger trend through to R5, R6, down to S5 and S6. But please use this in multiple time frames in exactly the same way as you would any other indicator. I've just done it on a single chart here for clarity, so that you can see it nice and clear on the video. Hope you've enjoyed this particular video. Lots more to come, as always, on the TradingView platform. So thanks for watching. See you soon, and bye for now.